Back to our YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, please consider to like this video, watch, share and give us your opinion. And I want to appreciate you so much for your great support. I don't take it for granted. Now, there is looming crisis on Omtatah's speech. Omtatah, remember I analyzed his contest today in the morning, speaking about the financial bill. Now, Omtatah is coming out with a very tremendous news here that Ruto may be jailed in the future for what is doing today. Omtatah. The issue of jailing is coming after Omtatah had thrown a bombshell on William Samoei Ruto that there is 100 billion being looted on this financial bill, and this is simulating Kenyans to be overtaxed, where now every person is rendered speechless and no one is there to convince William Ruto. Right now we don't have even the strongest opposition. So Omtatah is coming out with this issue on Ruto's character. He described it that if Ruto could have been places like United States of America, places like UK, places like South Africa. Remember, their former president was arrested, by the way, or now he misuses the office fund. So this is also a scenario with us here in the country, where there is a claim, according to Omtatah, that President Ruto is demanding more taxes in order to benefit on himself and making Kenyans to suffer on paying taxes. Remember, today in the evening there was demonstration at Nairobi CBT. For those who watch the news, they were singing and even chanting against President Ruto. Now this is the fallout, the beginning of fallout, the Tower of Babel I was talking about. As if that is not enough, the InfoTrack Today report is now coming out with a clarification and mentioning some of the country who are which are going against President Ruto on his support on this financial bill. And in the report today we are receiving that majority of Kenyans believe country is headed in wrong direction, the InfoTrack poll. Furthermore, they carry on by saying, in the report released on Thursday, June 6th, Kenyans in Nairobi, Eastern Nyanza region, believe the country is headed in the wrong direction. Per the report, Nairobi led within the number of people who believe the country is not heading in the right direction. At 74%, residents in Easterns were ranked second at 69%, followed by Nyanza at 68%, then Western at 64%. and Central at 63%. So where will Ruto escape to? As all these countries have now made a clarification that they have passed the 55% on the IBC result. I take it that way. Now, what makes these causes to happen? What might be the problem? For you to understand, some of the main concerns raised include increased taxes, the high cost of living, unemployment, poor infrastructure, poverty, poor governance, flooding, bad politics, and corruption. I'm very much happy that everything has been included on this. Poor infrastructure. When we talk about poor infrastructure, that is a sermon to Kipchumba Murkomen. He has failed Kenyans because Kenyans believe when there is good road, there is school transport communication, where every goods coming from farms will be delivered correctly. But when there is pothole, for instance, places like, I don't know if you go to Muranga or Nyanza, there are so many potholes on the road. So that is also another big challenge. And Kenyans have seen as This is why our country is headed into a wrong direction. The increase of tax. The government is now making Kenyans to suffer. They are increasing tax left, right and center. Remember, even I did the analysis of this man, Didmas Barasa, the former Kimilili MP, was urging President Ruto to even tax the buttocks of women. Look at that. Our MP coming out with such kind of news cannot even explain himself. A man who cannot believe that he was once MP who implement the laws at the government, at the National Assembly. And our constitution must be also be protected, well indicated, even in Article 148. Again, as if that is not enough, the high cost of living. There are some Kenyans who cannot even put the food on the table. That is not also a very big challenge. And who is the cause of all this problem? Okay, Omtatah is saying Ruto is the one causing all this problem. The answer here is true. Why? Because he has failed Kenyans even to have the incapable cabinet secretary, people like Rutika Linturi and the rest. I don't want to mention their name. They don't understand our office, how they work on their department. Their work is just to pass with heavy vehicles, machine, and again tight securities. They are enjoying taxes which are being given by Kenyans, and that is why Rigathi Gachagua yesterday slams that kind of motion or reaction, and he said that the bosses in the country are Kenyans. So he was very right saying that way. So I believe that I'm the boss of President Ruto, because when I purchase sugar or bread or flour in the supermarket, they must deduct tax. Likewise to Wanjiru, likewise to Moses, likewise to John. So you can't come out and say that you are working yet things are not okay under your administration. So the man himself, even today, the BBC, Waiga Mwaura, exposed him, asked him, you are again on the east. Just a few days you are on the west side. When I say east, you understand, for those who understand whatever I'm talking about. So you try to behave like, let me use this term, I'm sorry, like a dog. You hear the noise on the other side, you hoot. You bark, sorry. The car is the car is hooting, not a dog. You bark. When you hear someone also down there, you bark. At the end of your barking, you might be shot or even beaten by a stone. That is how this government behave. They talk too much, they entice millions of Kenyans, but there is no work being done. Today, even there was demonstration at the parliament. Residents in the country came out saying that the MPs have betrayed them. So all these things might cause Ruto into trouble. But our country ilishaharibika kitambo, wakati wa Moi, wakati wa Kenyatta, wakati wa Odinga. So what will we expect? Atamaliza tamu yake peacefully, aiba sipoiba, atapewa security, atapewa pension. At the end of his retirement, he will be good to go. But there is a challenge here in this life. Remember, whatever you do it for your future generation. And you will be questioned ukifika huko binguni. Kila mtu, hata mimi, kila mwanasiasa, you will be questioned, what have you done? What is the legacy left behind? Is it a positive legacy? Is it a negative legacy? Which can be portrayed by some of Kenyans behind you. So Omtatah is raising red alert to President Ruto to reduce on how he is handling the situation under his administration, or else he might be even arrested in the near future by some of the observers. You never know, things might turn upside down, and that could be a very big challenge to the son of Sugoi. That is whatever Omtatah is saying. The truth of the matter is that our country is now headed into a wrong direction, and leaders must now come together, listen to each other, listen to Kenyans, not even each other, on their plea. Their main concern, maisha, gharama ya maisha iko juu, irudishwe chini, and the rest which they can do to the people in the republic. That is whatever Omtatah is now issuing to President Ruto. I don't know what are your observations as I conclude my analyst checkup on today's political news. All the best, and bye bye as we hope to meet on another political discussion.